I grew up in a musical family. There were singers, there were musicians, there were people that played all sorts of instruments in LA and California. And when I was a child, I noticed that going to school meant getting the content area right, getting math right, getting social studies right, getting classes on literature right, and getting the good grades. But the longer I kept going to school, I noticed that the music, the stories, the narratives, the trumpet, the accordion, the stories of home that my family was thickly involved in when they produced these metaphors and these kind of nostalgic stories of the past and what they lost by coming to the States and what they can regain by going back to Mexico in moments, and almost like this surreal kind of magical mysticism.
I was an acting school administrator, and I was sitting in a meeting, and they were talking about the new principal standards and how administrators were going to be evaluated. One of the things they shared was how administrators needed to now focus on work-life balance. Now, everyone else around the room is talking about all the things that they are doing to take care of themselves, and the little cool ball that they were passing around as the speaking stick came to me. And in that moment, I felt this rush of anxiety simply because I recognized that who I was in that space wasn't necessarily represented in the conversation, particularly because I didn't feel safe. I didn't feel safe to share. I didn't feel safe in being able to talk about all the things I didn't necessarily have access to, despite the fact that we are all doing kind of the same work. And so I just blurted it out. And I just said, frankly, as a Black woman school administrator, I don't have that luxury. I don't have the luxury to be able to remove myself, to take the time that I need to heal, to connect, simply because I'm expected to show up to all things and be all things to all people.
It's important to highlight all the different moving pieces and people that are a part of communities, especially since the research that we do impacts these communities. This Storytelling Learning Futures Collaborative is really important to further understand the communities that we seek to serve.
One of the most valuable experiences that we can have is just learning to collaborate and, as Juan would say, vibe off of each other. Because really that is the work that we are trying to build for communities, right? This place of knowing, unknowing, learning and relearning. I myself taught for 20 years, and it's been amazing to connect with just very different perspectives. And I see some people from other countries with different orientations, and it really has helped to bring us all together and consider those perspectives in this work.
That background, that idea that music and story and narrative and lyricism, that can create knowledge, that can create philosophy, that can create wisdom, that can create intellectualism, that even though the K-12 schooling system often left it out, I could still be that. And I could still fight for that, and that it mattered. And that the places where you found this stuff was often at the quinceañera, or it was at the backyard party, or it was at a little get-together in a little rural town that had horses and cows running free while kids were playing baseball. And then they grabbed me, they said, "You play third base?" And I'm like, "Third base? I play basketball, but I'll try it as a kid, right?"
Story is so impactful to this work. The experiences of people from the community, experiences of people, from various fields, really come together to put out some rich data that we're often leaving out of the conversation, out of research. And even beyond research is getting people outside of the ivory tower into the spaces that matter. It's the practical applicability of the work that we do.
Crossing all these borders of language and identity, I realized that, story is gonna be me forever. It's in me. It's in my mom, it's in my dad, it's in my tios and my tias, and there's power in that.
And so super excited about this Learning Futures Collaborative because it allows us to really bring and amplify the stories of people in our spaces of research and scholarship.
Story can create opportunity for young people that are often left out. Story can create a place of sacred space making and a space to build community.
It helps us find a place where we can bring joy and laughter and work through some of the struggles that we have as a community, as educators, as familia.
To me, this initiative, this Storytelling Learning Futures Collaborative is about that. It's about the epistemic space It's about the knowledge creation space that is within the institution that we consider as higher learning or higher ed, but beyond that, where else is this happening? And how do these worlds come together or not? And how can we merge these stories, right? To produce like some idea about what we want to learn, what we want to be, and how we can move forward.
My name is Christina Bustos.
I'm Raquel Armstrong.
My name is Justine Parnell.
My name is Juan Carrillo. I'm an associate professor at the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College.
I'm a PhD student in the Learning Literacies and Technologies program at Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College.
I am a second year PhD student in the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College.
I'm a presidential postdoctoral fellow at the Mary Lou Fulton Teachers College in the Division of Educational Leadership and Innovation.